Welcome. In this tutorial, we'll take a look at HeritageQuest, an easy-to-use online tool for exploring your family history. You can find the HeritageQuest page on the library's website by clicking on the Digital Resources tab in the Library Action Center on the library's homepage. Okay, here on the HeritageQuest page, you can see there's a description of the resource and what's available in it. To get started, we'll need to log in through the library's catalog, so I'm going to click on the catalog link here. And when the catalog page opens in the upper right-hand corner, you can log in with your full library card number and your password, and you can click Login. And scroll down the page, and on the left-hand side, under Electronic Resources, you'll find HeritageQuest. Let's click on the HeritageQuest link to open the main page. So HeritageQuest has a wide range of sources and tools to help you with your research. First and foremost, it gives you searchable access to all U.S. Census records from 1790 all the way to 1940. There's also some Canadian census records here, which is handy in New Hampshire, where quite a few people have some French-Canadian heritage. We'll come back to the census records in just a minute. At the bottom of the page, there's some popular and featured searches. At the top of the page, you'll see there's links to some of the items that have been added most recently to HeritageQuest. And at the very top, there are three choices here. If we click on search, we can see all the resources available through HeritageQuest. It goes quite a bit beyond just the census records. All these sources will have different types of information in them. And your second option here at the top of the page is research aids. This has some great tips and hints for how to search through HeritageQuest. I really like the top 10 search tips, and also the black sheep 10 things you can know. That's real helpful in tracking down those family members that seem to have vanished and are a little bit harder to track down. Your third option at the top of the page is maps. Now this can be important, especially in searching the early parts of the country's history. So for example, in Maine, the county lines have shifted quite a bit. You can see what they looked like in 1790. A couple decades later, they've changed quite a bit and changed quite a bit again. So this is helpful when you're trying to figure out where to start geographically in your search. All right, let's go back to the home page and take a closer look at the census searching. Let's say, for example, you're looking for your great-great-grandpa. You know his last name was Woodward, and the first initial was J. He was about 40 years old when he was living in western Maine shortly after the Civil War. The only other clues you have is that he was married and he had 3 sons, all of whom were born in Massachusetts. So it's a little bit like solving a mystery. You have a few clues to work with. So let's start in the 1870 census records, because that's shortly after the Civil War. And we'll plug in some of the information we have. Woodward, and I'm not going to put exact because the name may have changed over time, or there could be a misspelling or transcription error. We think they were in Western Mass, so Western Maine. So we'll try York County, Maine, or the areas around it. We can try county and adjacent counties. And if you have other information, you could plug it in there, but sometimes it's helpful to start with a more general search so you don't miss anything. You can always narrow it down from there. So we do know he was male, so we'll put that in and see what that brings up. And we got 262 census records there. Now that's kind of a lot to scroll through, so we may want to narrow down using the search filters over here. We could narrow to exact last name, but we're not so sure about that. We've already got county and adjacent counties, but we can click on Edit Search here to add another factor. So we think he was about 40 when he was living in 1870 in western Maine, so he'd be born about 1830, and we can say, oh, within about 5 years either way. And let's see what happens when we just add that one additional factor. Okay, this has narrowed it down to just 38 search results, so a lot easier to scroll through and see if any of these seem to match up. Here's a likely candidate, Jeremiah Woodard, so not the exact name, but close. Oxford, Maine, that's in western Maine. So we can click on View Record here to see the full record and scroll down and see if it matches. So this seems promising. It looks like there's 3 sons living in the house. He's married. And we can go here and click on the view to see the full original census record. So when you do that, the person you're searching comes up in yellow, the other family members in green. You can see under birthplace that the 3 sons were all born in Massachusetts. So it's all lining up pretty well. We think we've got the right guy. So now a neat feature here in HeritageQuest is you can click on Send Document, put in your email and click send email, and HeritageQuest will send you a link directly to this record, so you don't have to go through all that searching again to find Jeremiah. Okay, so now we know a little bit more about your great-grandpa. We know his full name, Jeremiah Woodard. We know his wife's name, kids' names. We can click through to learn more about them. She was born in New Brunswick, Maine, for example. So this gives you a lot more clues to work with. The more information that you have, you can take that and plug that into some of the other search resources, which will give you different information, help you fill out the full picture of their lives a little more, and start to build up your family tree. Okay, so that's what HeritageQuest looks like. There's a lot there, so take your time and enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.